45-38 may have been the final score from Doak Campbell on Friday night, but it wasn't the main point of discussion, at least on social media. It was the scene you see behind me. Should you rush the field? Should you not rush the field? But if you're asking those questions, you're missing the point altogether. The clock hit 0. The decibels hit over 100. The fireworks hit the sky and the fans hit the field. A dramatic end to a dramatic night. Still, to some of the public at large, some pearl-clutching rivals, some of the stands, and admittedly at first glance to yours truly in the midst of the chaos, it seemed a bit overkill. As many a Gator fan on social media will be quick to tell you, Florida finished a season of early promise at just 6-6, and as many a Florida State fan would and have responded, it was a celebration of the climb, to which UF was just another casualty. But the story on the field told a different story of what all this was actually about. This was about 18,000 plus members of a student body that crammed into the northeast corner of the brick house that Bobby built. This was about the look on their faces, the look of pure, unbridled joy, the look that only the innocence of youth affords. A look many juniors and seniors haven't been able to experience like many who walked on the campus before them. Bowl games, big moments, big wins, they've all felt like a rite of passage at Florida State for far too long, at least until they didn't. Many of those faces smiling on Friday night looked in disappointment as freshmen in 2019, when Florida State fired a head coach for the first time in over 4 decades. Many of those faces were covered or not even allowed in at all during a pandemic season that saw the Seminoles' worst result since 1975. A year later, those faces shocked, with jaws dropped as the Noles suffered through their worst loss in program history and started 0-4. And yet somehow, that ever-present climb made it all worth it. A block on the bayou, heroics near the horse tracks, and a massacre in Miami Gardens. They all set the table for the final feather in the cap. The first game against Florida at Doak Campbell Stadium since the class of 2022 stepped foot on campus. A grand catharsis after 4 years of football misery. A sea of garnet. A sea of smiles. College sports are different. Special, unique at their core because of the passion that only comes from youth. A passion millions on any given Saturday on campuses all across the country will spend all manner of money on all manner of things to feel again. The energy, the optimism, the belief. Something many a student got to experience in full for the first time Friday. A memory they'll never forget. The night Florida State fell back in love with its Seminoles.
It's such a special place to play college football, to coach college football, to, it's because it's about the people. It truly is. And, who we represent, what we stand for, just that's what makes Florida State special. And people can say that wherever, but until you're here, until you get to live it, until you get to be around it, man, it's remarkable.